Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be doing 35 trades, looking for those lucky Pokemon. Some are from 2016, 17, and 18. I'm also going to give you some extremely good tips on which Pokemon you should trade. Okay? Some people are saying this isn't that good of a feature, but I, in fact, am looking at it like a gold mine. If you play it right, you can end up with extremely good Pokemon if you know what you're doing, okay? So this is our first trade. We ended up with a Lucky Blissey. Not bad at all. And if you're wondering, I've seen a few comments asking, can you trade Lucky Pokemon back? Once a Pokemon has been traded, you can never trade them again unless Niantic makes some sort of update. That's just what it is. So keep that in mind. You cannot trade a Pokemon that has been traded back. You can also not trade long distance. You have to be within a certain range of somebody to do trades. So I just wanted to clear that up there, okay? Now let's talk about, as we watch these trades, what kind of Pokemon do you really want to trade, okay? Now let's think about this. You maybe want to do Community Day Pokemon. I also see a lot of people saying, well, this is not even that good. The only thing it's doing is cutting Stardust. No, it's not. Yes, when they become lucky Pokemon, you get reduced Stardust to power them up, but that's not the only thing here. You also have a chance of something that doesn't have great IVs to become good, right? So here's my little tip for you after we watch this one right here. Because I kind of wanted a Caesar to be lucky for me just because of that background. And we got it, yeah. And when one person receives a lucky, both of you receive it. Now, we're going to talk about the tip for the Community Day Pokemon and then something else after this, which I also find valuable. Now, if you have, say, a Beldum that you just caught in the wild, pretty high CP, horrible IVs, or okay IVs, and somebody else has one as well. You can both trade them to see if you can get a lucky Beldum. And guess what? There you go. When Community Day rolls around for that, you're going to have your Beldums ready to go to evolve into that good move or whatever other Pokemon like Ralts, and you're going to have Cut Stardust. Not only that, but you're going to have a good IV one. I've heard stories of the Pokemon still re-rolling into bad IVs, but I don't know what's going on with that because I've personally, every lucky Pokemon that I've received after they fixed it within the first hour or something like that have been somewhat good. Actually, they've all been pretty good. There's a few exceptions. They're like probably maybe like 79%, but that's still pretty good considering that they were like 49 before, right? I haven't seen any of my Pokemon drop below the IV that they were originally when they become lucky. So also keep that in mind. All right. So remember that next time you catch a Beldum, Ralts, or a Slackoth, something that's kind of rare and that may receive a Community Day in the future, and you're going to be powering a multiple of them, you want to save yourself some Stardust. At the same time, if you find horrible IV one and high CP, trade it off first before you transfer it just to see if you can make it become lucky. Because, well, then you're making dust turn into gold. All right, so just give it a shot. Next tip is trading 2016 Pokemon for newer Pokemon. Okay, now this is going to take 2 trades for each trader to get what they want, technically. So if you have something that's older but not so desirable, say you have, I don't know, this is just an example, a Vileplume hanging around from 2016, and it's just hanging out there. You never knew why you didn't transfer it, but it's just there. Any 2016 Pokemon that's undesirable or something you can let go. And the other trainer has something that you really want to be lucky. Now they're going to give you that. You're going to give them your 2016, and more than likely you both will get a lucky Pokemon. That's because the older a Pokemon is, the more likely they will become lucky. And if one becomes lucky, they both become lucky. Now, the solution to both of you getting what you want and not just giving him junk and receiving something very nice, even though they get a lucky, old Pokemon, is you give them what they desired, and then they bust out their old 2016, and then you guys can try it again and maybe get lucky and get another lucky Pokemon for the desired Pokemon that you each wanted. You just kind of have to compromise and talk about it, trial and error. If you don't get something lucky and you're trading off your best Pokemon, I highly recommend you don't do that. Trade things that you are more likely to transfer, or things that you just don't really want, that don't have great IVs. Okay, so it's all about trial and error. Now we've come down to the Mewtwo. This Mewtwo is from 2018, and so is his, I do believe. Every single Pokemon from 2017 that I have is actually powered up, and there is absolutely no way I would be trading those because there's technically no point unless I just wanted some Mewtwo with a, sparkly background, which makes no sense if it's already powered up because there is no benefit except for just a little animation. Unfortunately, we did not get that Mewtwo, but that's just another trade. And we have stacks of Mewtwo. Sorry, I'm not trying to rub it in the people's face who don't have any. It's just business like usual over here. Now we're going to be doing Community Day Pokemon. We have the Venusaur. So we're going to go ahead and see. This one is a 95, and sometimes you have to take those risks. Now, he was giving me an equal Pokemon, so I was saying, okay, let's give it a shot and see what we can do with this. And let's see what turns out. And a lucky Venusaur with a Community Day move. That is a big score right there. So there is those risks that you can take. And this is actually from 2017, right? Now we're going to be doing the Blastburn Charizard. Didn't want to, I guess we could have done a shiny. But yeah, I don't think I evolved too many. I did like 2. And we just said, let's just do the regular one. Oh, yeah, I know why we didn't do shiny. Because they cost way too much. Duh. All right. So, no lucky Charizard here. And it actually became horrible. So, you make sacrifices. This is a gambling thing. Indeed, it is a gambling thing. And I'm actually going to be transferring a Community Day Charizard. That's something I've never done before. Felt kind of weird doing that. So, there it goes. Next is going to be Blastoise here. All right. He wasn't going to give me a Pidgey. He just accidentally tapped on it. Now, I need to bring something else up. If we wanted to try extra hard to get a lucky Pokemon every single time, we could have tried even harder than what we were doing. Technically, we were just kind of messing around. As you can see, we were just mirroring each other's trades. Blastoise didn't become lucky. First Beldum, let's see what we have going on here. We were actually going to do several of these until we got it because I was telling him, we're going to probably receive a Community Day for this in the future. It would be nice to, have one of these lucky Beldums so we can, power it up with less Stardust. Not to mention I caught a few today that didn't have great IVs, and I do believe his turned into like a 90-something%. So, oops. I just gave it away, didn't I? So let's see what we have for this one here. And we have a lucky Beldum, folks. Not bad at all. I'm pretty sure, let's see. Simply amazing HP, defense. So they're at least like a 13 in HP and defense, and attack is going to be above a 10. So keep that in mind. Like I said earlier, there is still bugs within the lucky Pokemon, but everything that I'm getting is every stat, HP, attack, defense in their IVs is going to be above 10 for everybody. That's what it should be, unless you're experiencing some sort of broken bugs and or trading within the first hour of release. Because I did receive a Nidoking with horrible IVs in was it defense and HP, but max attack they were almost completely floored to 0. They were like 3 or 4, and then 15 in attack. So there was that bug when they first came out, but otherwise they should be working above 10 on every IV if you receive a lucky Pokemon. Alright, so there are some tips. Hope this helped you out. We're going to be getting into the pretty interesting trade now. This Ditto. So I was like, oh, yeah, this Ditto I had was from 2016, folks. I have 2 of them, so I wasn't too nervous about giving it up. But I was like, all right, let's trade a Ditto. Let's see if we can get lucky Dittos here. And in fact, we get a lucky Ditto. So that was pretty cool. Now it's more tempting to power up, I suppose, because I never really wanted to power up a Ditto. But now I might just want to, and it actually has decent stats. So max attack and at least 10 in everything else. Now, another one I wanted to do was Machop, because we were discussing a possible Community Day in the future for this. And not only that, but it's just good to have Machamps on hand, and why not have a lucky one, considering they're one of the best Pokemon in the game currently for all kinds of situations. Unfortunately, nothing happened. I'm pretty sure my Machop was from 2018, and his was as well. The next thing we have is Eevee. Since we have an Eevee Community Day coming up, figured we give it a few shots to see if we can get ourselves a lucky Eevee. He wanted to trade, so we were going to do some more trades with like Vaporeon to Vaporeon, and we did the Flareon and Vaporeon, and we got lucky with both of those. And we're going to do the other ones, but I was telling him maybe we shouldn't because we have the community coming up. We don't want to hoard too many Eevee evolutions, considering we're going to probably be catching a ton of shiny Eevees and evolving them into their evolutions. Now we're going to be sitting on a whole lot of different Eevee evolutions. So it's best that we just trade the regular Eevees to get those lucky for now, because we can evolve them when Community Day does come around. All right, so up next is going to be kind of an interesting one, a Tyrogue. So, yeah, let's give it a shot. At this point, we were just trading any kind of thing. We were getting specific. We still had things on our list, but we would come across Pokemon. We're like, hey, why don't we give this one a shot? Or let's give this one a try. And nothing there as well. That Tyrogue that I had was from 2017. Like I said, I wish I would have all the dates up for you, but hey, it is what it is. Now, Nidoking. Kingdra. I wanted a lucky Kingdra very badly, so I was really crossing my fingers for this one. And let's see what we have. And unfortunately, I didn't get it, but that is okay. And me and my friend were discussing this also. We were transferring and trading over Pokemon that were, I don't know, 96%, and they ended up not becoming lucky and turning into horrible Pokemon. Some people might get extremely disappointed by that. And at first I was kind of like, dang, that sucks. And this one did become lucky. That was pretty cool. But at the same time, it's a good way to help you clear up your inventory if you're stocking up on so many Pokemon at this point and you just don't want to transfer because they're high IVs. It's nice to take a gamble to see what you can get and maybe possibly get a lucky one. If it doesn't become lucky, then, you know, bite the bullet, right? Now, this Pokemon right here brings me to my next topic, Gen 4 Pokemon. And like I just said, some of these Pokemon are going to have good IVs and end up not becoming lucky, and you just end up losing out. And that's just the way it is. Like I said, it is gambling, basically. So we're going to go for the Magmar because of Magmortar in Gen 4. So why Gen 4 Pokemon? What is the big deal? Well, I don't know. Just to see if you can get a lucky one. Now, our Magmars were good. Now, if you had horrible ones sitting around, it'd be best to trade those off to somebody to see if you can become lucky. And look at that. We're going to be seeing a lucky Magmortar in the future, folks. It's not like the one I was giving him was horrible. I actually think the one I traded him was better, and actually better than the lucky one that I received. Now we have routes, and you're wondering, well, what has that to do with Gen 4? If you're not familiar, and that is actually going to be Glade, because if you have a male routes, you can evolve it from that to Kirlia, and then it'll go into Glade in Gen 4. So I ended up with a lucky routes, as you can see. That is great. So I'm just trying to give you the best tips and tricks that I can possibly throw out there before the people start watching my videos and, you know, putting up the same kind of stuff. No offense to any other YouTubers, just saying. All right, so other one, nothing. Great. Now we're going to move on to the next one. What do we have here? Electabuzz. Great. Electivire in Gen 4. Now the one I was trading was actually an already a decent one. So if this doesn't become lucky, I'm basically losing out here. So let's see what we have. And nothing. Hey, that's okay. We were taking the risks. We were basically playing in Vegas last night right here. This was just for kicks. He wanted to do it, a Alolan one. And I was like, sure, why not? I have one that's okay, not great IV, so I was more than happy to trade it to see if we can get lucky Alolan Golems. And we have nothing. That's alright. These are newer Pokemon that you're seeing now. That's why the lucky thing isn't happening, right? Now, of course, we gotta do one of these, or maybe even two, because you know how bad I want an Alolan lucky Raichu, because, well, I don't know. I like the background quite a bit, and having to spend less Stardust on one of these sounds like a Very nice thing. All right, let's go on to the next one here. And we have Gen 4 in mind right now. This time it is going to be Togekiss. And we're trading our Togetix. My Togetic was a 71 or something like that. And he's actually giving me his 91. And no, lucky. He wasn't too salty about it because he has 100 and some other ones stacked up. Now, we're going to be doing Togepi now. Let's see what we have. I did not have very many of these to spare. This was quite the gamble for me. And nothing there. All right, but he was cool. He wanted to actually do some more. I was like, you know, I'm actually going to have to say no on that because what if they don't end up being good? I definitely want my Toga Kisses once Gen 4 drops. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pretty neat trades, and I'll catch you all next time.